Enjoying seeing some overpass. It's the same when Train comes up in the rotation. It's so rare that it's a refreshing change away from the cash cobblestone that tends to mar the UK scene. That seems to be the mess up as we get the 9th round underway. And Team Infused will be hopefully trying to pick this one up, and they do, so they get the choice. And they have been on a tear, so they want to put as many rounds on the board here as they can straight off the bat. Apply the pressure to XPC on their own map.
Yeah, I mean, the second you start doing that, you're in a very good place. I mean, if they can make XPC feel under pressure, if they can put them in a situation where going on tilt, throwing things away, you know, just things that run rampant, then that'd be a really good start for Team Infused. And so much of CS is just one giant mind game, you know, with your opponent. And if they start things off on the right, you know, in the right way, put XPC on the back foot, then you know you could potentially see the kind of emotions and the you know, the pressure XPC are going to be feeling on their map start to run rampant throughout the team, and well, you know, that could spell disaster. But equally so for Team Infused. I mean, there's a lot boding on this. It is the final map of the night. The winner, well, you know, they've won the event. They take the prize home, and it's all good. The loser, however, well, you know, they've lost.
Yeah, well,
and you know, all this was for nothing. Then that well, you know, not all for nothing, but
we've had a good show out of it.
Yeah.
But you might as well just conceded the thing after that and gone home early. But you know, we are not going to be doing that, and neither am I, because I was supposed to be heading back tonight, and my girlfriend's not happy that I'm not. But after watching this phenomenal final, I really do not care. This is the place to be right now, and we get to see the exciting conclusion of this thing. And Team Infused, they are on the T side now. Will they have called off after that little break? Well, Zello gets one, but they trade it straight back, and this is perfect. The Molotovs, etc. comes in, and this is good utility from XPC slowing up the push. But you thought Infused might be able to sit in long enough, and Aaron, who else? Picking up some frags from round about the site. And he's caught very quickly. And XPC, I think they've done enough to keep this thing safe. Weber, unless he wants to channel Aaron and pull off a 3K here, you know, I think he's going to just do what he can. Try and get a kill or two, add a bit more into the money. And oh, he's spraying all around Cosme, but doesn't pick it up. And the Romanians take the early lead.
Yeah, they do grab the early round win, which of course should basically allow them to get the first 3 rounds on their map choice, which is always a good confidence boost for the Romanian side. I feel like their morale might be a little bit low right now after their rather crippling defeat on Cobblestone that we saw previously. But moving into their map choice, which is the final map of the night, which I would say puts you at a little bit of a disadvantage, seeing as this is the one where the most pressure is going to be felt by both teams. It's going to bode fairly well for XPC, and taking that first round just further nails that home. Cemente is going to start things off with 1 on a Weber, and it's going to go 4 versus 5 very early on. It is a floor spy coming out for Team Infused, so potential to do a good bit of damage here. You've got the Deagle as well up on Connor and Aaron, and both of these players have shown that they are not ones to be underestimated with the Deagle. Pulse and Aaron making their way up towards long, just trying to see if they can find anyone caught out of position, but they're not going to be able to. XPC playing this really well, keeping their players close onto the site, not overextending just yet. 1 minute left on the clock, so it's still pretty open to interpretation, at least for XPC, where Team Infused could be heading. Of course, we can get a fairly good understanding by looking over at the map as to what the general strategy is going to be here from Team Infused now. 50 seconds left. Damage is done on O'Connor. He gets taken down to 20 HP, but flashes go out. The push is going to be underway, and Cemente is going to start things off with 1 on O'Connor. Tag does go in onto Cosme, and he's going to put down to 7 HP, but White with the spray and pray weapon of choice does 5-1 on a Mighty Max. Zello comes in and gets 1 of his own, and well, Aaron's able to get 1 for his troubles, but that's going to be it as White goes in with the trade, and they only lose Cemente in that round, so that's a very good round for their economy.
Yeah, worked super well, and XPC, they're going for the more passive approach over towards that A site, at least for the time being. We don't know if that will continue as their pattern, especially when you're looking across at the likes of Zello or White, who could either individually or both pick up the AWP, maybe play 1 down long, bit of Guardian style if you want to do that, or you can put 1 over towards the B. Pulse does get the early frag on White. I think he's done some very decent damage. Zello, and he's able to get 1 at Cosbean as well, and they are cutting these players down as they make their way in. It's pretty much a plain eco bash, and XPC put their 3rd on the board. But chance for them to buy now, and let's have a look and see how many AWPs they do get in the play. Looks like 1 so far. Going to keep the Famises, and they're going to be coming up against a full AK setup with armor, head armor, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the AK is going to allow Team Infused to keep that momentum up as they enter in the sites, keep the speed being a very key element of these site pushes for Team Infused. Now you've got 3 players making their way up into Park. They leave Pulse behind. He's going to try and take connector control. Now connector control, a little bit of a stutter there. Jesus, I'll go back to breaking a freestyle. Yeah, Pulse grabbing connector control early on is going to allow Team Infused that fast rotation down to the B site and of course up from it. And that can make these B plays very, very feasible for them. So they managed to salvage that early on, and that's going to give them a decent portion of the map and allow for those fast rotations to and from B, as well as completely deny XPC the luxury of cutting those rotate times almost in half. Bomb slowly making its way up through the toilet. Cemente and White both waiting for this, and well, Mighty Max is going to be able to pick up the first, and Cemente gets taken down. White trying to get the return frag, isn't able to do so, and well, he's going to be able to get one. And Sexy comes in, rescuing them with the UMP. He's able to get that return frag on the Mighty Max, so it's going to go in 3-4 in favour of XPC right now, as they do have that one-man advantage. White's going to be able to fall back from long and escape with his life. Orb still in hands, looking to do more damage. He's by no means done just yet. He's going to get back to site. Aaron, Pulse, and Weber now. The last 3 left alive for Team Infused as Pulse gets taken down. No Pulse left alive on him, actually. And it's going to be Aaron and Weber here, 2 versus 4. They're going to be continuing to go in for this A play. Little bit of utility. You got those 2 smokes that can be used for the stairs and for bank, and I imagine that is what we're going to be seeing. White trying to make something happen with the AWP, doesn't quite get that shot to connect, but with 15 seconds left, all they've got to do is delay this plant. And as Aaron gets taken down, Weber is going to be left in a very, very demanding position here. Can't quite get those shots to connect. And Cosmine comes in, does get that 4th round on the board, and that's going to be XPC with a very, very commanding lead.
Yeah, it is a nice way to start, forcing Team Infused back onto, well, they can force up if they want, and they are going for the old Tech 9 armor approach, a couple of Deagles as well. XPC, they're mixing things up. They've played passive back on the site. They've also played pushed up, and end up working quite well for them in the end. Just about, though, White was in a bit of a panicked position, and he does like to play those advanced positions and gets aggressive, and he does try and go for the no scopes, etc., and he's fairly effective at it. And of course he's got his teammates who are there to save him in the nick of time. But there are times where he has got caught out once in a while, and he just misses the shot on the shoulder peak. So giving away a little information there. They've got to watch about the side though. Whether he does take 1 player out, he's caught straight away. And they've got the crossfire on point. 1 player left alive. Cosmine going back to what we saw from him during the early stages of the tournament and the first map. He's spraying players down as they charge in, collecting frags in bunches, and it is far too easy again. XPC, this is starting to look daunting now. They've edged out a 5-0 lead.
Yep, the double AWP setup as well over on XPC. White and Zello, 2 very, very competent AWPers, opting to take that both for their side. And well, I mean, by the looks of it, they're going to be playing in towards the party area. White's going to be moving on up, but he's got a very aggressive position here. The boost is going to be coming in, so they know they have so much information up for this mid play. 5 rifles on Team Infused, working their way down towards that B site. The information alone that they've got from the lack of presence up towards A should be enough to determine that B is going to be the site of choice, at least for the time being. But with 1 minute 20 left on the clock, it is anyone's guess as to where Team Infused are going to send themselves just yet. Pulse is going to be holding off the connector area like we've seen him do so many times in the past. And, well, I mean, potential for them to try and do a boost off and remove any player playing over on the barrels. But, I mean, Sexy just going to find one through the wooden spam spot. I mean, not even going to question that. He does it, and Mighty Max is going to fall as a result. So that's going to start them off very, very tastily with a 1-man advantage. Molotov goes in, forcing Sexy out of position from the barrels there. Weber going to be heading in through long, and while he's there to support his team, a boost is going to be coming out, and that's going to allow Sexy to pick up 2. He's finally going to get traded down by Pulse. It's going to go 2-1-3. Weber comes in with a nice headshot on a Cosmine. Frags going left and right. And well, Zella's going to try and push with the smoke. He manages to pick up the first. He goes for the second, but Pulse comes in, and then Cemente from upper managing to get that. It's going to go 6-0 with Team Infused. They do get the plant, but they don't manage to take the round.
No, that plant's going to help them just build the economy a little bit. Will it be enough? Well, yeah, okay, it looks like it's plenty of cash for them to buy an AWP if they want to go for that. But, after all this momentum, you start to think that maybe that break has been enough to unstick Team Infused. They haven't got the same crispness making these shots as they used to, and XPC, they're not necessarily on point with all of these. You know, they are missing a few of their own, but they are locking this down. And you know, even if you look at this as being a CT-sided map, well, if it carries on along this kind of line, well, the Infused get down on themselves. Zello with a frag straight away on Weber as the action's making its way in towards the B again. Sexy's got one, make that two, collecting those frags, and White and Cemente clean it up, and XPC now in the ascendancy. So the score looks very comfortable, but the way that they're playing just doesn't quite feel like it's got that same comfort to it. They haven't got the fluidity that we've seen from them during the upper bracket stages.
Yeah, I do agree, and it is going to be a pause coming in for Team Infused. So potentially this is going to be the attack pause coming in sooner rather than later. Like you've said, some teams, they leave it too long. They don't have that much needed communication in with their coach in time, and it can spell disaster. But they let it get to 7 rounds, and I reckon that is why we've got it. I mean, it's pretty unconfirmed for us at the time being. But with some luck, you know, you've got Neil up there now talking to them, sitting them down and just running through, trying to help them figure out whatever the problem is. And you know, doing it 7 rounds in when you're on the 8th round, I would say that's a fairly timely fashion to get it done in. We see way too many teams, they leave it till the 12th, 13th round, and you know, they might pick it up, but they only get 2 rounds as a result on the back of it. And the other thing is yeah, I will have to agree with you about what you say with the fluidity from XPC. It doesn't feel like they're playing as smooth. It definitely feels a lot more like Team Infused are making a lot of mistakes, as opposed to XPC just opening up this fresh can of whoop-ass like what I think they would like to think they're doing right now. Team Infused hopefully going to emerge back out on top of things here as they're only buying up, and while the unpause is going to be coming in, XPC, if they manage to you know, cut them down here and secure their 8th round, that could spell disaster for Team Infused.
Yeah, it sure could. Got to worry about that money situation as well. I mean, loss bonus is a wonderful thing, and it can especially help you out on T side if things aren't going your way. And Cemente, he's pushing up, he's getting aggressive in the garden, and now he can fall away, and he's got an AWPer up there as well. See White trying to get into that position, getting aggro. Cemente eventually taken down, and White now, he's got to be careful. He's exposed, and now the A site is open. This could be Infused chance, and you know, that pause is worked to perfection. Now they have the chance to make a play, and they've got Sexy over on the site. He's been very adept at picking up frags in bunches when they need it, so got to be careful of him. He's going to walk through and maybe get in from behind, but Team Infused have got the mid control, and with that they've got control of the whole map and the choice of where they want to now work, plus the numbers advantage and a minute left to go on the clock. So they've got everything going their way right now. Chance to put their first one on the board if they can. 50 seconds left to go, and they're going to be making their move, but we've got to be careful about what's happening here. And Zello, he's on point. Cosmine as well. He can spray down rushes. No messing around. Sexy. He's going to try and come in from behind, and Pulse picks him up with the flashbang. Cosmine, last man standing. And what's he got for us? Have we got an Aaron-esque 3v1 clutch in the tank? He hasn't seen where Mighty Max is positioned. He knows where Pulse is. He's got the information. He makes one. Mighty Max, though, hiding in the smoke, right not to reveal himself. Team Infused put their first round on the board, and maybe this is a chance for the comeback.
Yeah, no, they definitely needed to get one sooner rather than later, and that was just a perfect demonstration of how strong and how versatile having the coach come in during those tactical pauses. You know, how much of an impact that can have in a game as it completely turns around and goes the way of Team Infused. 1-7 now, they finally get their first round on the board, and hopefully more to follow now. 3 of them heading in through that park area, going to be heading over towards Long. You've also got Pulse taking connector control, something that he gets to do relatively uncontested. They do get that portion of the map given to them for free, courtesy of XPC. A nice little boost up over on the A site here. Cemente, he's going to be the player in question. Scouting out over the top of the signpost here, trying to spot some legs heading in through toilets, but it's not going to be his day to discover that just yet, as Team Infused slowly making their way towards the site. And, well, Flash is going to go in, a really inventive pop flash there to get them in the toilet. Sally's not going to find anyone, but Aaron is going to be the man in question trying to open things up here for XPC.
Yeah, he is, and XPC playing it nice and passive over towards the A site. They want to receive this rush and then deal with it when it gets here, and maybe get their players across from the other side to rotate. And Team Infused, though, making this stealthy, not giving anything away themselves, and you know, they've got so much control of the map that their choices are still pretty much endless how they want to play on from here. And it's a interesting little position. Only be able to use this position once, Cemente, and Team Infused now looking 30 seconds to go on the clock. They have got to move, and they are making their move over towards the B site. Cosmin has got to be on form. He's got to be ready for this one as they've been stacking up towards. And Zello, he keeps picking up these early frags. Aaron trades him straight off, and Cosmin, he is stuck as a result. Sexy does get one before he is traded straight out, so it's going to be the two rotators coming in. Bomb plant goes in. White's in a position where he can cause some havoc, and he does. He's got one. Can he get the second? No, he's not quite on point. But Cemente brings it home, falls off, but still has time to get round and pick up this defuse. So Infused get reset. They pick up that one, they lose it straight back, and look at their money. 2.5K between them.
Yeah, no, the complete economy reset they're going to be playing into this is Infused. This is the weakest we've seen them looking right now. 1 round to their name, very little money to do anything with. And XPC, their money isn't looking too great either, but they have got 7 rounds behind them. They've got a huge buffer even if they were to get reset. And well, Infused, they will be forced onto an eco into this. I reckon we've got one of the players on a buy. It's going to be Aaron with the Tech 9 and armor. But that's pretty much all they've managed to get. Pulse is going to have Deagle in hand. We've seen him do some fantastic shots with that in the past. Let's see if he can look to carry that legacy into this round. 1-8 is the scoreline, and Team Infused, they need to get a few more on the board. Connor's going to be the one this time pushing through connector. He's got bomb in tow as well. And well, once again, this area of the map given to them for free from XPC. And well, I mean, at this point, they're giving up a lot of map control. XPC playing very passive. It's just they're still managing to do this. They keep them at the site long enough to get the rotates to come through. And, when you're playing that passive, that shouldn't be the case.
No, this is the thing. I mean, you can allow a team to have mid control on some of the maps we've seen already. Cash, for example, it can be pretty much game over if you let them have mid control on such a regular basis. It gives them so many more options. But the toilets area, not so much. And you can sit all the way back and just receive. You see Cemente on White. They get them. You just set up your crossfire, and White with the AWP as well picks up his second. Sexy comes in with a frag, leaving Mighty Max last man standing, and he's got to try and get into the toilets. And you can see that's one way you can play. You can just sit back, let them have that as long as they want, and eventually the time's going to run down and they have to make a play or switch it across into B. The other option, of course, is you can get aggressive with the AWPer like White. You could see him go aggro, play the Guardian role, peek down long, maybe push up into Garden. But, at this point, there's no need for them to do that and be aggressive because they can handle it with their crossfire. Team Infused don't really look that threatening over towards A.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the weakest and most vulnerable we've seen Team Infused looking. What a map to decide to have that as your 2 defining qualities. Hopefully they can find a way back into this, but 1-9's their scoreline currently. And they need to start to post a few more rounds on the board if they want to stand any chance of winning this in the second half. 8 rounds between these two teams now. Team Infused, they have the talent, they have the skill. It's all down to whether or not they can get a few more rounds on the board. Looking at this right now, you've got Max. He's going to be playing that lurk role, trying to stay separate from his team, keep the pressure on. And right now, I think he's watching for any sort of information plays coming out from XPC. He might be able to find one here. But not going to bode too well just yet. He is going to get spotted out and tagged down low, actually, courtesy of White there with the AWP. And now he's going to be fairly trapped on, and he's going to have to peek him with the Galil, which I'm not sure is going to be the best decision. White does just fluff that shot. And Max will be escaping with his life. As for the bomb, it's slowly going to be making its way towards B. Weber's going to start things off for them with that frag on a White over towards short. But I mean, that Molotov is going to completely slow down the push. Any momentum, any advantage they gain from that goes out the window as the rotates already came in, and now there's 3 players on this site here. 30 seconds left. They don't have a lot of time. They've got to go for it. A second Molotov comes in to slow them down that much more. And at this point, 25 seconds left as they start to make their way out to the site. Connor gets one. Cosmin chimes in with that return frag. Pulsed out onto the site is able to take down Cemente. Cosmin gets one of his own, and now it's all on a Sexy. And he's trying to make his way in through heaven. He's able to get one, but Pulse finds him, and that's the second round on the board now for Team Infused.
And I don't know if you guys can hear the crowd behind us, but they are getting into this encounter. There is chanting, and they want to see Team Infused get themselves back into this thing and bring it home after winning 2 maps on the spin. And they got forced into that play, had to move quickly on it, but what a success it was in the end, and they've now forced XPC down into the first eco they've had to deal with in a little while, and we'll just have to see what their approach is. Maybe they'll try and get aggressive and be clever, and there are several ways that you can be tricky on overpass, and Cemente straight away, he has taken a frag, taken down Pulse, so they will be able to retrieve an AK from that, and Cemente might be a player to look out for, but they are committed quite heavily over towards B, so they're going to have to get on their bike and make sure that they are covering the angles, and that AK does go across to Zello in the end. Aaron with a frag, able to take down White, so this mid-control that we're talking about, Team Infused have taken that again, but Sexy, he's not messing around. He's got himself up in the garden, and that's another trade out. So nice work, and it's 3v3 with a minute left to go on the clock.
Yeah, Team Infused, they have the armor and the weapons and the utility into this round, but they are still getting dropped by the XPC players who invested relatively little into this. They've already done great damage for what they've been able to buy, and well, Zello having the AK is always something to watch out for. He's going to be playing over towards the A site, and he's going to be playing that at truck angle, just watching it now as Team Infused start to make their way in. Once again, very little time left on the clock, so they've got to go for this once they're committed. They have no time to rotate here, so in due course, Cosmine's going to be rotating on in as Cemente and Zello try and hold this site up on their own. Flash goes in, and while Zello's doing good damage with the AK, he's going to get taken down by Connor, and here we go, it's going to go 3-on-2, Molotov to force Cemente out of position there, and he's going to have to fall back. Rotates came in, Cosmine's there to back him up. It's going to be 2-on-3. Bomb does go down, and I mean, when you look at it, Connor, he's running away to protect this from that toilet area. Weber gets one with the AWP, but now it's all going to be on the Cemente. He does get out. He manages to find one. He's doing the damage. Can he make it two? He makes it two, and now it's going to go to Cemente versus Connor. This round has become dangerously close here for Team Infused. AK actually doesn't have any bullets. It could be a bit of a problem. It's going to be a 1 versus 1. He sprays for him. He isn't able to get those shots to connect. And he's trying to fake it out, but he doesn't have a kit in hand. Right now, Connor's playing this perfectly and just playing for that time. And there we go, XPC. They're going to be saving the AK. Connor manages to get that third round on the board there for Team Infused. But that was a lot closer than it needed to be.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of a sixth sense thing, and it's just a solo play. Upgraded pistol, just keep clicking mouse one, get it on point and see what you can do. And, if the player's spraying around you and isn't quite there, just that raining down of bullets, even if you have got a pea shooter in your hand, it is enough if you're on point. And now XPC, they do manage to get themselves an AK out of it, and plenty of economic damage. And you can see for Team Infused, no one looking particularly comfortable. A lot of rebuys needed, but they do have it all up, full head armor, decent amount of utility, so nothing much to complain about. And if they can get themselves to 9-6, good position to find themselves in. XPC going back to what seems to work, and again playing passive, don't want to get too aggressive, just wait for Team Infused to come in, and even then they showed that on an eco pistol the chance of a retake is very much there and in their hands, and in the end it's turned it into quite a pensive game. Everyone's taking their time, no one wants to commit, no one wants to get picked off either, and both of these teams have showed at times that they can peek out, try and get a little aggro and give away their life. None of this now, it comes down to this final map, and that's probably resulting for the fairly slow play, nothing too adventurous just yet.
Yeah, Team Infused once again taking things very slowly. I'm not sure if that's a blessing or a curse on their part. I mean, a lot of the time it felt like early on they're leaving themselves with too little time to get out onto the sites, and it's been every round now pushing with 30 seconds left. Right now they've got 40. Still haven't really decided on a site just yet, although a really nice fake coming in from Pulse, and Max is going to actually force the rotate off of A, and now you've only got I believe not a single member of XPC here to protect this one, as they're going to be rotating up from B now. So a very, very well sold fake coming in from Infused. However, they do lose 2 players in the process. Bomb goes down. It's going to be a 3-on-4 with the advantage going the way of XPC. With Bomb planted and Team Infused looking to fall back, they do have a slight advantage in that regard. However, they're not in very good position to trade right now, which could be something that we might see playing an impact later on. Aaron's going to be able to get one, but then coming on in XPC, they just mow them down. Like we say, there wasn't really a crossfire set up there, and the trades just didn't come through for Team Infused.
No trades to be had, and XPC get themselves back into it now. This is where it could start to get crucial. If XPC get themselves to 11-4 or 12-3, then it is theirs to lose, and what a heartbreaking situation it would be for Team Infused. If they can pick this thing up though, if they can get it to, next 2 rounds, take it to 10-5, win the pistol, and get the buy versus buy, they are well and truly back into it. So it's just hanging finally in the balance, and the way that the second half played first half plays out of the final map, it's going to potentially make all the difference. And here's Sexy, so he's getting some good information if he continues to push on that angle, and may even be able to do a little bit of damage. But I think Team Infused is going to be wary of their slow play and will want to get on the move at some point. Again, just keeping control and looking for where they can work in. Make use of what utility they've got. And they are, I think, going en masse. They haven't got the numbers advantage, but they've taken down the AWP. Cosmine is able to get one before he falls out. Zemente with a frag, and Cosmine with the spray down. How many times have we seen Cosmine picking up 3 frags in the spray down?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, too many. Team Infused, they've fallen prone to the secret weapon that is Cosmine and his knowledge of the spray pattern, I guess you'd say, as he does just seem to be the eco farm king for the minute, as he's, like you say, landed those 3 4K spray downs many a time here across a variety of different maps. So it is going to go 3-11 as we approach the last round of the first half. Team Infused, they need to get this just to build up a slight buffer against XPC. But White picking one up early on is going to be the exact opposite of what they want right now. Aaron's going to be able to come in with the trade. It's going to go into a 4-on-4 very early on here. And, well, when you look at it, Team Infused, they're not doing too good. They don't have a lot of utility, whereas XPC, they still have lots to play around with. Bob's going to get dropped back in towards the spawn. Sexy fighting one on the pulse, and no one's there to trade for him either. So that's going to give the one-man advantage comfortably to XPC. An aggressive play from Cosmine down towards long is going to get them a lot of information here as to the whereabouts of Team Infused and the nature of this bomb plant. It is going to be making its way over towards that B site as well. For the time being, Sexy and Sexy and Zello are going to be the players to try and hold this off. Zello's watching this angle now. Will they be able to peek him? He's playing from quite an unusual position, and well, Aaron's able to pick that up. No questions asked. Sexy comes in though. He manages to get 2. Aaron makes it a 3rd for him, and he's got an ace for the win. But if anyone can do it, it is going to be this player for Team Infused. Now 1 versus 2. He's going to find himself against Cosmine and Zemente over on XPC's side. 30 seconds left. Not a lot of time to play around with either. He does have bomb in hand though, so he can try and make something happen here. 25 seconds left. He's got to do something. Last round of the first half. No point in him saving that weapon, obviously, so naturally he's going to try and make something come out of this. They know it's got to be B, surely. There was no time for the rotate here. He's going to try and push out, and while they're leaving the site relatively uncontested, although they're going to peek out right as he looks the wrong way, and oh, the timing not on his side there. It's going to go 3-12, and XPC a phenomenal first half, whereas Team Infused, probably one of the weakest performances we've seen from them so far.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the upper bracket action that we saw out of that performance. They never really got into it, and you can't fault them that much. It was more that XPC just played that really well. Maybe a little bit of tiredness creeping in as well, because it's been a long old series, this to say the least. And XPC haven't looked on the best of form in this last map, but they've done enough and they've played it in the right way. I think it's too easy to get pushy on this map on your CT side. Try and get in from behind, try and get information, and they haven't gone for it. They've gone all the way underneath, and Pulsey straight away able to get a frag, but they are charging these terrorists, and they're moving into the toilets. You see Team Infused adapting the other approach. Try and get players in there, try and be aggressive. Aaron's down low, Cosmine and Zemente picking up frags. White gets one as well. So Aaron, 17 points of health, and Weber going to be trying to bring this thing home for the honour of the UK. And Team Infused against 4 players, and they have not got enough rounds to be messing with. If XPC pick this one up, they are probably going to be able to piggyback through, and Aaron through the smoke, knows there's someone in there, spams through, gets lucky, and Cosmine takes down Weber. I think this is game over.
Yeah, Aaron's going to be left in this 1 versus 3. He's got a USP in hand, but very little time to make this defuse. He's got too many players to worry about. He is going to be getting flanked as well, and while Cosmine picks it up, it's going to go 3-13. And XPC, they win the first round of the second half. And, well, as a result, they're going to be able to buy into this. They're not going to give any chances over to Team Infused here. They're going to be fully buying into this. Rifles almost across the board. UMP up on Zemente, but he's the only one who's decided to be a little bit confident here. Everyone else opting to stick on those rifles, and Team Infused, they're already onto the force buy. So it's going to go 3-13 as we approach round 17 here, and well, I mean, 3 players down towards that B site, can't fault that, and we've got 2 holding a very aggressive angle up towards mid. XPC, on the other hand, they're going to be locating a lot of their forces down in towards the kind of park area, so no commitment on their behalf just yet as to where they're playing. Zello's going to be challenging here for Connector. He's going to be running into both Pulse and Max. So they should be able to get a nice trade in here. And of course, if they can grab the Galil, that is a weapon and armor for them. So let's going to be trying to peek this angle slowly but surely to challenge for connector control. Flash goes in, and well, it's going to be very well executed. They get the information. Max actually doesn't get told that Zello was there, and Zello picks them both up. What a bit of miscommunication there for Team Infused side. And well, that's going to give a one-man advantage over towards XPC. Zello picking up that double kill there. That really shouldn't have happened, should it, Crossy?
No, not at all. And you know, I guess it's tough to get the communication in when it's happening that quick. But you know, you just got to be aware of your surroundings, if nothing else. And yeah, they did kind of trade it out, but it shouldn't have gone in that direction, and they have instead fallen. Aaron, though, he takes down White. So you know, this is another good bit of damage. But you know, none of these Team Infused players have been able to retrieve a weapon from the fallen Romanian players on the server, their opponents. Weber with the deagle in hand. Can he be crisp? Can he be on point? Well, no, he takes a bit of fire actually, and Sexy is able to get Aaron before Weber gets the deagle. It's a crisp one dig. Sexy has to fall out of there. Connor on 2 HP, and they're going to be trying to hunt. Gets one, gets the second. Connor's so low. And XPC, couple of opportunities they could have thrown that round away, but they just have the feel of a champion now. They're getting the luck. Everything's moving in their direction. The momentum, the money, the frags, a little bit of fluke maybe. And yeah, they're 2 rounds away from victory here.
Yep, no, a very formidable showing from XPC. They've done a brilliant job in the second and first half of this map, just showing that they are incredibly dominant when they put their minds to it. Team Infused, they're on the back foot here, 1 round away from being put onto a map point, and sure they could try and make some sort of amazing comeback. I'm sure they could if they really tried. But I mean, they've got a huge distance to cover. Cosmine's going to open it up with 2 on Aaron and Weber, and that's just going to completely shut out this B side. Connor going in for the rotate cheekily from behind. He's going to get dropped as well. Then Max finds himself on the receiving end of an AK-47. Pulse is going to be the remaining player for Team Infused here. And well, I think he's just looking to see if he can grab a gun and head for the hills.
But they're hunted for him, and White, wow, super crisp. He's on point, and XPC overtime guaranteed in the deciding map. And this David and Goliath contest, Romania's star team squaring off against a talented UK mix, and Team Infused have taken them all the way, but I think it might have just been too much in the end, and XPC get onto the map that they feel very comfortable on. This was one of their choices, and they are bringing it home in style. Maybe with the full buy coming in from Team Infused, they can put in a little cameo and just make this thing interesting one last time. We have fingers crossed that this spectacle is not going to end, but unfortunately that may be the case. They do face up, and it does work though. Pulse, he gets 2, and they push aggressive into the garden as well, so it is not over yet. 4 versus 2 in favour of Team Infused, and they've got a good spread across the sites. Connor takes down Sexy, leaving Zello last man. Got to retrieve the bomb. 4 players to find actually, so Aaron can only do 3 half the time.
Yeah. Well, Zello here trying to be, you know, the better Aaron, but unable to do so as Pulse does fine and completes a 3K there as well. That's going to be the hat trick for him. So it's going to go 4-15. Perhaps there's a small chance Team Infused could launch the best comeback anyone has ever seen. They've got a lot of ground to cover. There are 11 rounds between these 2 teams, and I mean, you can't even say little margin for error. There's just no margin for error. And Team Infused, they do like their error. So, you know, will they be able to quit it in time? That's the real question here. 4:15, and well, XPC, they're thundering in towards that B side. A lot of presence there as they do grab connector control. Rest of them sticking in down towards the sewage area, about to push up short perhaps, and bomb is going to be there. Team Infused, on the other hand, they've got 3 players here to try and counter this, so they're in a very, very good state of mind. Flashes and smoke's going to be underway now. Push coming on in. You've got that AK-47 on Sexy, which we know he can do a lot of damage with, but Weber's going to find the first on a Cosmine. That's going to start things off right for them as it plays to push that much more, but White's going to get 1. Zello comes in with 1 of his own. It's going to go 4 versus 3. Bomb's going to be going down any minute. Well, they've got Aaron. He's kind of trapped here on site. He does manage to get 1. If he goes aggressive now, he might be able to find the bomb planter, but he doesn't do it in time, and it's going to go 3 into 3 now before the retake, but Sexy with that AK-47 is able to get 1. Mighty goes in with the return frag, puts it into a 2-on-2, but time is still counting down. 4:15 is the scoreline. They need this if they're going to stay in and keep fighting for another day. Demente and Zello both playing this very, very passively. Time still counting down. They have got kits, so they've got a lot of time to kind of play around with here, but it's fast being extinguished. Flash out on the short is going to delay the push. Aaron's trying to stay alive. He's going to go down, but there might be enough time here. He's trying to do it, but he's going to go down. And XPC, they win it 16-4 on overpass, but we've gone the distance, Crossy. And oh my God, what a spectacle it was.